Well, hey everyone, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. You probably noticed the background is a little bit different than my normal background. I'm traveling. Going to be back uh, probably tomorrow. So I did want to get the show out for this evening. Again, you are tuned into Inspirations for Your Life. And friends, if you are thirsty, well, why not go grab yourself something? I just went to Friendly's and had a real awesome meal. And of course, a great ice cream. Kind of modified a little bit and had the chocolate chip mint with hot fudge and some Reese's Pieces on top. It was really good. And some brownie bites. That was really, really good. I know a lot of franchises for Friendlies are closing up. So there's not too many more in Jersey. I'm actually today all the way down in South Jersey. Haven't come down here too often, but I had some friends that I was visiting, and I'm working on putting an event together. So that's why I'm here in a few weeks. So it is great to be with you guys. If you are new to the channel, well, welcome. It is great to have you here on Inspirations for Your Life. If you're coming back, well, of course, I want to say a big welcome back, because I really do appreciate everyone that comes back and really finds this content very valuable. I would like to make a special shout out today. There was actually a fan of mine that reached out to me on Facebook. Ace Lim reached out to me, so I'm very grateful to him for reaching out. He was actually reaching out, and he's watching us all the way from, I believe it's from the Philippines. And he's one of my followers, so really, really great. You never know whose life you're going to impact, and it is really just a privilege and pleasure to be here with all of you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I know the lighting might not be like our regular lighting, but hey, I'm in a hotel room. It's not a studio. And so, again, we have our master topic for the week, which is the power of presence, how slowing down awakens what matters most. And the granular topic for this evening is this, and it's a really, 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 really good one. So definitely stay tuned, because we have an amazing show for you guys here tonight. It's called The Gift of Radical Hospitality. When kindness opens doors, okay? And I think this is really to the unexpected. Series 4, Show 30. Wow, Show 30. Episode number 2, guys, number 2. So again, a very big warm welcome, everyone. Go get yourself something delicious, something hot, something cold, and welcome to another powerful episode of the Inspirations for Your Life podcast, where kindness isn't just nice, it's transformational. I am your host, podcast coach, entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, video producer, engineer, graduate student, and a lot more. And tonight, I'm diving into a concept that has the power to open doors, heal wounds, and build bridges. What is it? It's radical hospitality. In this world of hustle that we're in, alerts and instant everything, we often forget the beauty of simply making someone feel seen, welcomed, and valued. This episode is going to awaken your awareness of how something has simply gone from a genuine invitation or a smile that will transform and shape destinies, yours and theirs. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are leading a team, creating content like myself, or just trying to be a better human, radical hospitality may be the secret sauce you've been missing your entire life. Number 1, radical hospitality starts with what? Seeing people, not just serving them. It's easy to fall into, well, the trap, right, of doing things for people without ever truly connecting with them. But real hospitality begins when you pause to truly see the person in front of you, their emotions, their needs, their humanity. Some restaurants and some hotels appear to do this, but really it's kind of fake. They wouldn't know my name from anybody else's 5 minutes later. Now, in a very high-end hotel, of course, they don't do that, but there are a lot of hotels. The one I'm staying at here is a nice hotel. But again, are they that concerned about my well-being? Don't know about that. So don't be a flabbergasted when people are trying to like blow smoke at you because they're just trying to be nice, but that's really not their true intention. They just say they have to be because their management is telling they have to be. So this is more than good service. It's deep empathy in action. When people feel seen, they feel, well, safe. And in safety, they open up, they connect, and you know what else they do? They thrive. So kindness without expectation often leads to life-changing moments. That's something magical about a world of kindness that comes with no strings attached. When you offer your time, energy, or presence freely without expecting anything in return, you invite a ripple effect. Sometimes these small acts unlock opportunities, friendships, or revelations that dramatically shift your journey. It's not about the ROI, folks. It's about the ROI of your soul. I know that sounds a little bit crazy for business people, but it really is important. Our soul has an ROI. You never know who needs your welcome the most. Behind every face is a story. That quiet person at the edge of the room, they could be battling isolation, grief, or self doubt. Extending a simple welcome could be the moment that changes their entire outlook. It's like their lifeline. Your warmth might be their first sign that the world still has, well, kindness in it. Never underestimate the power of presence. Number 4, true hospitality invites connection, not just conveniences. Fast food and fast friendships have their place, but radical hospitality digs much deeper. It's not about how quickly you can host someone, it's about how deeply you can connect. Hospitality at its best creates an environment where real conversations and lasting bonds, well, they flourish. And that requires presence over performance. And I think that's important for a lot of people to really understand. Number 5, opening your heart can open doors you didn't even know existed. But taking from our premise last night, in order for you to do that, you first have to be present, right? Which is what our whole week is about. Presence and slowing down. Vulnerability in hospitality is bold. It's opening your emotional door before expecting someone else to walk through theirs. But when you do something extraordinary, well, something amazing happens. You attract people, experiences, and opportunities you never imagined or dreamed possible. You become a magnet for connection. And that's when doors figuratively and literally begin to swing wide open in your life. And I think that's important. Number 6, small gestures of warmth can melt years of isolation. It really can, ladies and gentlemen. Really, really it can. You don't need grand gestures and actions to be hospitable. A nod, a seat offered, how are you today? These micro moments of warmth can begin to break through emotional walls built over years. Isolation is often invisible, but the antidote is simply authentic acknowledgement. Your small gesture could be someone else's major turning point. I was on one of my hikes the other day, and just that day was the first time I felt very present. And when I was so present and I was saying, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? They would come back and say, well, how are you? And I'm fine. And yourself? And it had a short little dialogue. And that happened because I was present in nature and in the moment. Number 7, when you lead with kindness, strangers can become your friends. See, friendships don't often start with fireworks. They begin with kindness, radical hospitality. It doesn't wait for the right person to connect. And it opens its arms to the unexpected. That stranger today might be your closest friend tomorrow. All it takes is 1 hour of open-hearted step in their direction. And I say 1 hour, but you can do one open-hearted step and do just as much. Number 8, radical hospitality says, you belong here just as much as I do. Hospitality at its best is inclusive, not exclusive. It doesn't require someone to fit in and meet some boundary where they are. That means no discrimination for race, religion, sexual orientation, creed, color, political party. This kind of welcome is rare, but it unforgettable. It removes masks and allows authenticity to truly breathe. When people feel like they belong before they perform, they relax and they grow. They spread their wings. Every act of welcome holds the potential to spark transformation. Now, hospitality is, well, catalytic. A simple invitation, a place at the table, or a moment of listening can ignite a journey of healing, connection, or even leadership. You never know, folks, how deeply your welcome can touch someone or how far it can take them. Hospitality is often the match that lights someone else's spark. Hospitality is not about the table, it's about the invitation. Yeah, the invitation. Like we've always said before, it doesn't matter what somebody gets you, it's the thought that counts, right? So forget the perfect table setting or the gourmet spread. The real heart of hospitality is the invitation. You're welcome here, whether that's to a coffee chat, a team meeting, or a community group. The power lies in the intent, not the aesthetic. A warm, authentic invite says, hey, you matter. Kindness creates safe spaces where healing begins. When people feel safe, they begin to heal. Your hospitality can create the space, and it may not be therapy, but it's therapeutic enough, offering a buffer against a world that oftentimes can feel cold or critical. You may never see the results directly, but know this: safe spaces create thriving souls. And there's your ROI. Being radically hospitable is a bold act of faith in humanity. When you open your life or heart to someone, you're betting on their goodness. That's a risk in today's guarded world. But it's also a revolution. Radical hospitality is a declaration that people are worth trusting, worth knowing, and worth loving. That belief can shift, and the atmosphere can just transform in any room because of it. Number 13, unexpected connections often begin with a simple smile or an offer, even a wave. Connection doesn't need a fanfare, okay? Often it starts with something humble, a smile, a snack, or, hey, would you like to take my seat? These little openings are all people need to walk into something deeper. Don't underestimate how much power you hold in your everyday actions. When you're intentional, it will show. Number 14, welcoming others expands your world and your soul. Hospitality isn't just for the guest. It enriches the host too. Every new position brings perspective, stories, and insights that broaden your view of life. By opening your door, you open your heart, and your life gets bigger, richer, and more meaningful. True hospitality leaves people better than, well, it found them. See, the mark of meaningful hospitality is transformation. Whether someone stays for a minute or a month or a year or longer, the goal is to leave them feeling more valued, more seen, and more loved. And that's the legacy you create, not just in the moments, but in the hearts. This is what Disney teaches in all very well-known places, like even, I'm going to say, the Ritz-Carlton. They all teach this. And that is that we have to embrace people. We have to make them feel very, very, very welcome. Here's the part of the show that I really, really love. Well, I love the whole show, but this is the part that I like a lot. I'm going to do basically a personal about point. Okay. And my whole thing about this, it's an action. And I think that's something that's very, very important for a lot of people, is that we have to understand, what that action means. And so now that we have a little bit of an understanding, I'm hoping that you will, let's say, step back and say, you know what, these points mean something to me, John. And because they mean something to me, I'm going to make sure that other people know what these points are. And I think that is the golden gem, guys. That's the golden gem. And, Don't do it because you're trying to impress somebody. Do it for you, right? Do it for you. And when you do it for you, it's like you're going to be so glad that you did. All right. All right. Let's get on to number one. Radical hospitality starts with seeing people, not just serving them. Years ago, I volunteered at a soup kitchen. I still do. At first, I was focused on efficiency, serving meals, cleaning tables. One night, I noticed an older man eating alone. Something in his eyes felt heavy. I sat down and simply asked, "How is your day going?" That 5-minute conversation changed everything. He said it was the first time in weeks someone had looked him in the eyes and talked to him like a person. I realized then it's not the food we serve that nourishes most, but the intention we give to their mind and their souls. Kindness without expectation often leads to, well, life changing moments. I once paid for a young man's coffee who had forgotten his wallet. It was maybe $3, and I thought nothing of it. A few months later, he showed up at a business networking event I hosted. He pulled me aside and said, "You reminded me people are kind. I almost didn't come today, but I remembered you." Gave me chills and still does to this day. That one small moment, it led him to join our community, land a mentorship, and eventually start his own venture because I bought somebody a cup of coffee. You never know who needs your welcome the most. At a conference I attended, I noticed a woman standing alone, pretending to scroll her phone, to look busy. I introduced myself and invited her to our table. She later shared that she'd been battling severe social anxiety and nearly left. My simple hello reminded her she wasn't invisible. Since then, she's become one of the most connected and confident people that I've known. All it took was that genuine, intentional welcome. True hospitality invites connection, not just convenience like some hotels do. I used to host community meetups, and at first I focused on logistics, snacks, chairs, timing, but attendance felt flat. One day I tried something different. I opened with a heartfelt story and invited everyone to share why they came. The energy shifted, people lingered, connected, and collaborated. Hospitality changed from being, well, about what I provided to how I made people feel. Opening your heart can open doors you don't even know existed. After sharing a deeply personal struggle at a leadership retreat, something I hadn't planned to do, someone approached me afterward with tears in their eyes. They had a similar story and thought they were alone. That moment of vulnerability that I opened up to and spoke about sparked a friendship and a partnership that continues to grow to this day. My open heart didn't just help me heal, it built bridges I couldn't have imagined would be constructed. Small gestures of warmth can melt years of isolation. I used to pass by a neighbor who always seemed, well, withdrawn. And one winter morning, I offered him hot cocoa. He looked shocked, but accepted that small act, and it led to weekly chats, and eventually his joining our neighborhood group. He later said that cocoa reminded him someone cared. Sometimes kindness doesn't knock loudly, it whispers and waits. When you lead with kindness and pure intention to strangers, they can become friends. On a solo trip abroad, I got lost in a remote village. A woman noticed my confusion and offered help. We barely spoke the same language, but she invited me to her home, served me tea, and gave me directions. That kindness led to a friendship I still treasure today. What started as fear ended in warmth, all because she led with hospitality. Radical hospitality says you belong here just as you are. At a mastermind I hosted, someone hesitated to join because they felt underqualified. I reassured them that showing up mattered more than status. They came and brought brilliant insights that elevated the whole group. That single moment taught me when you make space for people before they prove themselves, they often exceed your expectations. Every act of welcoming holds the potential to spark transformations. I once invited a shy intern to present an idea at a big meeting, just a small nudge. Well, he blew us away. That opportunity transformed his confidence, and today he's leading his own team somewhere. The simple act of saying, your voice matters here, can unlock someone's purpose. Never underestimate the power of the invitation. It's just that most people don't give the invitation. People put stereotypes. People automatically think you're not worthy when it's not their job to judge that. Everyone deserves a chance. Hospitality is not about the table. It is about the invitation. I remember planning a fancy dinner party and stressing over every little detail, how the knives were going to be, the spoons, the sporks, and all the things. But the night that made the biggest impact happened. A spontaneous pizza night on my back porch. No frills, just some laughter, some stories, and genuine connection. The magic wasn't in the menu. It was in the atmosphere of belonging. Everybody wants to belong in this world, but they feel afraid when other people don't seem to accept them. And thus, next time, they feel the same way. So invite people in. You know, when you go to a store, this happened to me several times. You know, to a store, I went to a store today in this village, and they said, hey, welcome in. And I first had heard this, I think it was at one of the clothing stores that's out there. And when they said welcome, I'm like, what are they doing? And I started realizing what they're doing. It's a quick way of saying welcome today. Like, how are you today? Welcome in is just a real quick express way to basically show them that they're paying attention. Like, hi, thanks for visiting our store today. If I can help you. No, they just say welcome in. Kindness creates safe spaces where the healing begins. A friend once confided in me after years of silence about a painful experience. He did it because I always listened without judgment. That safe space allowed him to finally seek therapy. I didn't heal him, but my kindness created the opening where healing could begin. Sometimes being present is the most powerful medicine that you can have. Now, I had the tools to heal him, but I didn't think that was my, let's say, candor to do that. He didn't ask for me to heal him. I didn't want to overstep my bounds. Being radically hospitable is a bold act of faith in humanity. Years ago, I hosted a stranger through a hospitality app. People warned me it might not be safe, but that guest ended up becoming one of my closest friends and introduced me to a network that helped my business thrive. Radical hospitality asks you to believe the best in people, and often they rise to meet, well, the belief. Unexpected connections, folks, often begin with a simple smile or an offer, or how about a wave? At a networking event, I smiled at someone who seemed out of place. We chatted casually later after over a cup of coffee, and I had a cup of decaf tea. Turns out he was an investor looking for startups aligned with his values. That chance encounter turned into a partnership that helped fund several projects. Big things often start, guys, with small moments. Welcoming others expands your world and your soul. Every time I travel, I make a point to connect with locals, whether it's through shared meals or conversations. Those experiences have taught me more about compassion, resilience, and joy than any book. When you open your door to others, you, well, change the dichotomy a little bit of your entire worldview. It shifts. You don't just host, you evolve. Dr. Dwayne Dyer, one of my favorite motivationalists, who I followed for many years, and he's not living with us anymore, but still in spirit. And he shared a lesson that came from Patanjali's, and that's how he learned it. And he said something very interesting. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. That's very powerful. True hospitality leaves people better than they were found. After a friend stayed with me during a tough season, he wrote a note that said, "You gave me peace when I had none." That humbled me. I didn't do anything extraordinary. I just listened and fed him and gave him space. That's what hospitality is about. It's not impressing, but it's uplifting. It's being genuine. And I know a lot of people that are listening to this tonight or any other time, they're gonna be like, John, I don't have time to be hospitable. I'm not telling you to buy them a car. I'm not telling you to go expect them to walk your dog or even, watch your home for you. I'm asking you to give hospitality. You'll know what that is. It could be getting him a cup of coffee. It could be just waving. It could be just wishing him a good day, right? So many people that I come in contact with, okay, say they're too busy to say hello. I had more genuine connection yesterday at the Rampa Reservation. I think I said hello and connected with like maybe 40 or 50 people. Out of that, only 2 people ignored me. One was on the phone and she didn't want to bother, as I said before, because she thought they would find out she's on a trail and that wouldn't look good for, the person who's on the phone. She didn't want to say, they say, "Where are you?" And the other person was just kind of like, you could tell they were into themselves. Like, they were more important than anybody. I hope that tonight's show helped to plant a seed, letting you know that hospitality is not something we just do in hotels. It's not something we just do if we're in the hospitality industry. It's something we should do to everyone. We should be hospitable. Not because we have to, but because we want to. You've always heard the phrase, you can get more with honey, right? When you're nice, when you're kind. But it's also about the fact that you don't want to try to mislead people either. You want to be genuine. You want to come from true intention. People will know when you're coming from truth or when you're being deceptive or trying to be a liar or a prevaricator. They'll know. Act from your heart with your intention. When you do, it's like the universe just sort of lines up for you. And that, my friends, is priceless. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who I am by now, well, let me introduce myself. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege, a pleasure, and honor to be with you here on the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I do invite you to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, that short-form content as well as long-form content to help you improve the quality of your lives. And we all know that's what you want right now. Have yourself a great rest of your evening or day, and I'll see you real soon.